Welcome everybody, welcome to the channel. You've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title, and yes, I am having a second attempt at doing a wall in, I can't say gold leaf because it's not gold leaf, it's actually copper leaf. Now, the first video I did is in the playlist there for the flat renovation, and I'll link the video to actually doing the gold leaf wall, which looks stunning, but I struggled. And there were some comments in the comments box below that video were giving me a few tips. I can't say every day's a school day because I did go to school, and every day's a school day to those that didn't go, but I bought the wrong gold leaf. I bought loose leaf in a booklet form. I did know about, and I did want to actually get it in transfer gold, but I couldn't seem to get hold of it. I've been now told where to get the gold leaf from, which I've actually got copper leaf, and it is in transfer form. So this is actually copper leaf in a book on sheets, and the sheets, can you just see there's the copper, and the sheets are actually a little bit sticky. The copper is stuck to the sheet. So when I put my transfer copper onto the wall, it will stick in place and not be like it was when I got the gold out. As soon as I opened the book, you only needed to breathe through your nose and it was wafting all over the place. So that was the video there with the gold. Today I'm having a second attempt using, I'll say, the correct product, i.e. transfer copper leaf. You can also get transfer gold leaf, and I'm going to do this feature fireplace. Now, the rest of the rooms in that playlist there, that was all Lick Pro paint. I don't want to go over that because we are talking about this. So the plan is, I have the materials to do it. I've got the acrylic metal leaf size. This is Polyvine. And please support the channel by having a look at the online shop through Amazon where you can buy all this. Now this is, let's just say, a sticky size that when I put it onto the surface, you give it 10-15 minutes, let it go tacky, then I can start applying the actual copper leaf to that area and it sticks to this. Now, back in the olden days, you used to use, particularly with gold leaf, you'd probably use oil gloss. Now, oil gloss would have to go off to a sticky, tacky state before you put your gold over it, or it was just a mordant, a specialist glue size mordant, but that's in days of old when men were bold and Phil Beckwith hadn't even been born. Well, it's probably not as long ago as that, but now Polyvine have got dead easy products that will give you that sticky surface. This is water based. It's not so easy to wash out your brush, but it does wash out. So the idea is I'm going to apply this to the whole wall, give it 10 minutes to go off, and then I will start putting the copper leaf on in squares. Now, once the copper leaf's on, give it a while for it to properly dry off. It shouldn't need too much drying off because you know what it's like. It's covered in copper leaf. Then you can varnish it. Right, Polyvine do the crystal clear lacquer. Now, the crystal clear lacquer is the water-based varnish that will go over surfaces like your gold, like your copper. They have changed the name, and I will put, I've forgotten off the top of my head what the new version of that is. I will put a comment, Phil, put a comment what the new varnish is of this. But this, you can't use ordinary water-based varnish over a copper, metal, gold leaf because it will sis because of the surface tension. This won't sis over your gold or your copper or your metallics because this is a special water-based varnish. So that's what I'll be finishing it with, which is, I believe it is a clear gloss finish. So I'll be finishing it with a clear gloss finish. So that said, right, I've not got all the tools for doing gold leaf walls or copper leaf walls, but I do have a badger softener. So when I am actually softening it all off to get rid of any loose pieces of the metal, I will be using a badger softener. Now, this was given to me. My father's got stuff that was given to him by his college lecturer. I've got the same sort of stuff that's been passed down. This brush here could be well over 100 years old. And I smell it. You see me back, you've got to sniff the bristle. the smells in there just bring back memories of me being at college, and I don't want to bring a tear to my eye, but there's some good times had when I was at college learning from Mike Myatt at Baystor College. I subsequently went on to help out and teach on that college course as well in the mid-90s, but just smelling that where it's had oil scumbles on just brings back happy memories. Right, we're moving on, I'm digressing. So I've got that to dust off any loose gold flake copper leaf. And the other thing I want to say, right, I've got here, I'm going to turn it on. I've got my new all singing all dancing laser level liner. Look at that bad boy, you can see it's sending lines all over the place. Now I've got a link below. If you want to purchase one of these from my Amazon store, I do have a link below to purchase this off Amazon, and the company that sent me this, it's not a paid sponsorship or anything, but they have sent me a laser liner to try out when I use it for paper hanging, and they've also given me a discount code. So if you are interested in one of these bad boys, there's a 10% discount code, so please check out the description below. Now, this is a really good laser liner. It does 360. You can see where it is. It's going all over the ceiling, all the way around. It is fantastic. It doesn't come with the tripod, but it does come with the brackets. It comes with batteries. It's a battery, 2 batteries. Charge them up with USB. It's got all the bits in a nice case. And I've got the box just there if you want to see. It is that. So it's the, how do we pronounce it? LasGoo. And it is the LG 3D laser level. Now, as I say, please check out the description below if you're interested in something like this. But I'm using it today because I want to get a center line in the middle of that fireplace, which I have. So let me just get rid of all these lines. Top one's gone, that one's gone, that one's back, that one's gone, that one's just where I want it. That is giving me a center line. You can see that, hopefully. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see that. That is the middle of the wall. I want to hang my copper leaf to the middle of that wall. I'll start at the top and work down. This is where the clock goes. So I know that's the middle. I have a tape measure to make sure I am central. I am just over 77 centimeters both sides, and in old money that is just a fraction over 30¼ inches. So that is the middle. I'm going to hang from there my squares, which are 140 millimeters, so it'll be a square there all the way across, and I'll work my way down. Now you're going to ask me, what's on this surface now? Now it isn't the same paint as the rest of the walls. What I've done, I had some Farrow & Ball. I'll come down. I had some Farrow & Ball red and warm tones, and this is wall and ceiling primer and undercoat. So I've actually coated that section up just to even it out, and I've added a splash, I don't know if you can see that, a splash of the Smith & Rogers Flow and Bond. This was added to it just to help that go on and give me a smooth finish. I didn't want to brush mark around the top, and I didn't want to actually have any roller marks, which it hasn't given me any of that. It also helps with drying, it also helps with the flow, and it's just an all-round good product. Can you see? It's an all-round good product to add to your paints to keep a wet edge going so it doesn't dry off on you too quick, and helps with the actual finish. So that's what's on that wall at this moment in time. Now what I'm going to do, I'll go off camera. I'm going to tip some of this into my little roller bucket, which is the Pelican Wooster. I've got a roller, just a microfiber roller, and I've got an Arrowworthy, what's that, 2 inch, just to cut in around the top. and that's what I'm going to do off camera. I'm going to get it all coated up, give it 5-10 minutes, whatever it is, and come back to you, and we will start getting some copper leaf on. So let's crack on. Okie dokie, I've just coated that up. Now, coating up is dead easy. I've used that brush and I've used a roller, I've just washed them out. I'm going to throw away the roller because it was too difficult to actually get out. It's gone very matted. It's very sticky, you can see that. So that goes in the bin. My nice Arrowworthy brush still feels a little bit tacky. I've washed it out with cold water, then some warm water, and then a little bit of washing up liquid, hand wash in there. It is a lot better, but I think it might benefit from some brush cleaner in it. But just be mindful of that. It does wash in water, but not that easy. Right, that sticky, I'll call it the size, the glue size. Now that will remain sticky for about 24 hours. It says get it on, leave it 15 minutes, which I'm probably not far off 15 minutes now. Get it on 15 minutes, then you can start applying your foil leaf, gold leaf, silver leaf, pewter leaf, copper leaf, what I'm doing. You can get it on after about 15 minutes, but as I say, it is still active, as in sticky, for 24 hours. You can also thin it, that material, but bear in mind, if you thin it, you're going to lose that stickiness that you've got with it being neat. But the benefit of actually thinning it means you will lose any brush marks or roller marks if you're doing some fine, delicate, intricate work, which this isn't that delicate, this isn't that intricate, and I don't think we're going to mind if there's any brush marks in it anyway. We have got that base undercoat on. That was done with a little roller. I did nib it down before we put the glaze size over it, the metal size. So we should be about ready to go. I've just seen, no, I thought it was a hair. Hair today, gone tomorrow. That's what my college lecturer used to say to me at college when we used to have a little bit of a bristle in any of the work we did. Hair today, gone tomorrow. And on that note, I'll get the laser set up and start getting some copper leaf out. Right, I hope you can see me. I've got the laser level set up where I need it in the middle. As good as. I've got the metal foil copper leaf out. Now I'm holding the book. This is a pack of 25. Now don't get too excited. This isn't a fortune. This 10 packs, 250 sheets have cost me about, with delivery, about £38. It's about £3 something or other with VAT for a pack of 25. So it's not like gold leaf that could cost you 15, 16, 17, £20 even more for proper real gold leaf. It's not as expensive as that. Now I'm going to be opening the book out like that. The leaf is facing down with the paper on the top. I'm going to be taking off a piece as so. That is the actual piece that will stick against the glue size, and I will be putting it up at the top with a slight overlap onto the coving, and I'll go all the way across like that. Now the idea is you actually overlap each one. You don't want any gaps. Now once you've got a section done, work down to a next section, and just, it's not difficult. You shouldn't be getting any creases with this. I had problems before with the creases in the gold leaf because it was too wafer thin. Literally it was wafer thin, but this should be quite good to go. I've measured this out. Take out the fireplace, or include the fireplace as an area. I was expecting I need about 170 sheets. I've got 250, so I've got ample. Now if you do find you get a little bit missed, don't fear, don't worry. You can actually add a little bit more mordant to an area if you come back the next day and just stick it back in. Don't worry, it's not rocket science, but let's see how we go. As I say, I've not used this before, so just bear with me. I will try and space it out, get it quite even as much as I possibly can, but don't forget I will be doing a bit of an overlap, so there won't be actually set squares going all the way down or across, but I would like to try and get it balanced with a line of the join of these squares in the middle. So let's see how we go. Can't be that hard. I've seen it done on TikTok by pros. So here we are. I'm just going to put the book down for now, just so I can actually see how I'm going. Now I'm putting, let's go up a little bit more for you. I'm just going to go off that line with the top of the foil leaf just slightly onto the coving, and I'm going to stick it down. I've lined it up with the spirit level and I'm pressing it down as so with my hand into the corner. I've probably got, I'm just looking, I've probably got about a 2mm overlap at the top. Now that is all on. Just get your finger. Where's, I'll tell you what I'm going to use. Tell you what I'm going to use. I've got an old soft roller sleeve. That will just press it in place for now. Once you've got it on, get the corner of the paper. I can't get it with my nails. And peel that away. Press it all the way and make sure you're all the way sticking down. Yeah. If in doubt, re-go over it. Should be good. I can see little areas that haven't stuck. So I'm just going to press it in, go back over it. Same with the top. Not bad at all. Now because I've gone onto that coving slightly, if there is a little bit, can you see? And I've missed, I can always just tap that in like so and use that that's on. I'm happy with that. Now, with that overlapping onto the top there, when it's all on, if I need to neaten that up with coming in with the coving colour, I can do. That's why I've gone onto it slightly. But so far, so good. I'm going to crack on. You will see me, I'm screwing that up, putting that down. You will see me carrying on and let's see how we go. When you do each little square, make sure where the overlap edge is, just run your finger over it just to press it down. Because then when you start peeling it away, if you see that it's missing a little piece because it's not pressed down enough, you can just run your finger around it a little bit more. You will get a little bit left over, can you see there? But if you do see a little bit that's missing, you just use it to rub it in like that. I'm only doing a couple of mil overlap. That's all it seems to need. Using the little roller just to press it down. It's not going to damage it, it's quite soft. Then run the finger around like that. I think once you get into it you start speeding up, but we want it to look nice, so we're taking our time with it. Now any of the residue that's still on the actual copper leaf that we've not taken off at this moment in time, leave it till the end and we'll get a soft cloth or even that badger softener and just knock those edges off. So don't worry about that. What I'm going to do when I get to the edges there is use half a sheet from the one above and just use them that way sparingly. So once I've got all the sides to do, I'll use a sheet at a time and probably do 2 pieces in one go. Yeah, probably like that. When you come to the rounded edges there, going back into the fireplace, put a piece on and then just guide it with your fingers all the way in. Best you can and get as much on as possible and then take it away. Now, push it in with your, well, I've got a little roller, and any bits that are missing, use the salvage of the top and just dob them in like that, because they will stick to that varnish no problem. So make sure you press it in with your finger. The copper leaf will stick to anywhere that glue size is. That's what you want. Press it in. Now that piece that's spare, I will use it just here and do exactly the same. Mould it round, press it on, peel it away, and again, anything that's missing, use it from, I don't want to call it the waste. Press it all in with your fingers, get it into the nooks and crannies, pull it off. All the way along. Right, you can see me using a sheet of the copper leaf. I'm doing the end parts, if we can call it that, the left and right side. This is clearly the left side. I'm using just over half a sheet. Now the waste, or I'll say the excess, I'm not going to waste that. I'm actually going to use it on the piece higher up. So just bear with me. I've pointed it out there. There's what, a third there of, yeah, I'd probably say about a third of a sheet. So I'm going to use that on that section there, which will give me a little strip that needs to be filled in. And guess what? You know, I'm going to fill in that little piece there that I'm pointing out with some of the waste stroke excess from a sheet below. So that's what you're going to do. And there we go. We've actually got the sheet on there and there's a little bit of excess and it's filled in the strip just above it. Dead simple. Right, I've got all that on now. Quite pleased with it. I've been a couple of hours, probably 2.5 hours, maybe 3-ish. I've taken my time with it. I have stopped for lunch, so yeah, all's good. Don't forget that actual adhesive, well, let's call it glue size, for the gold foil, i.e. copper, is tacky for 24 hours. And I would actually say the longer you leave it, don't worry about it. The initial tack is still there and it's got it on nicely. So what I'm going to do now with my badger softener, it is a real badger softener. Dread to think how much these are. So with my badger softener, I'm just going to go over it now and knock off any loose gold that's on the edges. Once I've done that, then I'm getting ready for varnishing. So I will see you in a bit, but you'll see me just knocking off all the loose copper foil. The reason I use that browny red undercoat from Farrow & Ball is because if there is any slight areas that aren't covered with that copper leaf, what will be showing through is a browny coppery colour, i.e. that wall and ceiling primer from Farrow & Ball, the reds. Now what you've just seen me doing is dusting off any edges, getting rid of anything, and also I've just gone off camera because the camera went off. I've got a noodle, microfiber noodle, and just finished off giving it a little bit of a polish to any of the edges, just to go around and get rid of anything that is loose on that surface, just like that. And I'm quite happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is just check the instructions and get a coat of varnish on. Right, I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to get that varnished now, but I've got to wait 24 hours because it does say that that size glue adhesive for that foil takes 24 hours at least to dry. So I don't want to spoil it. It's looking fantastic. I'll wait and do it once it's properly dry. So 24 hours plus. But I am over the moon with that. It looks stunning. The effect, can you see? The effect of that, totally different. The question, what would you charge for doing something like this, a little bit specialist? What would you charge? I will see you after it's varnished. Right, that's a blend out to come back in. I said I'd be back to tell you about the varnishing. I'm ready to varnish now. Now, I said leave it 24 hours. I've actually been a bit more than that. It might be nearly 48 hours. I've had other things to do, and you know what it's like when you've got a family and kids. So that is nicely dry. It benefited from actually 12 to 24 hours to dry out because you could just see underneath that foil leaf, the copper, the actual mordant, the adhesive, the acrylic adhesive that was holding the foil in place. You could just see it still underneath the surface. It needed to dry out and obviously soak in to the surface below, the substrate below. Now, you know what I'm like, I can criticise myself. I don't know whether you saw me in the video of me actually applying it. There was a few areas, well, there was just one area that my hand stuck against the actual adhesive, and when I pulled it away, it brought a little bit of that adhesive off the surface. Now all I did was just touch it back in with adhesive. Now because I didn't put that adhesive on evenly, i.e. over the surface with a roller like I showed you, I just touched it in with the finger. Now my eyes, nobody else will see it, I can see the area there that is just slightly touched in with a finger and not evenly applied with the roller. Not to worry, you learn from your mistakes, don't you? But I have to say, applying it with a roller does give you an even finish, and putting this, particularly a shiny surface on like this, is very critical to what your wall surface is actually like. Now thankfully I'd skimmed that out with that multi-surface Prestonet filler, which was great, and I sanded it down with a Merkur, and it was as near as a smooth surface as you could possibly get. But unfortunately, because I touched something in it, just left it a little bit proud with the adhesive underneath. But I tell you what, anybody else won't see it. I know it's there because I'm looking for it. But other than that, that has gone on fantastic. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I keep telling you, not everybody will want something like this, but it's good to have as your under your belt, in your portfolio, that you can do things like this. It's not particularly difficult. It's just knowing what you're doing with the products that you're working with. Now, originally you could see that I'd put a brown, it was the Farrow & Ball red tones undercoat on. You're going to say, well, I've told you before, why did you do it? And it was because if there was any areas I've not really got any. If there was any areas that didn't take and I missed it, which I didn't do, if there was anything still there, it would show through as that reddy colour, which goes with that bronzy stroke copper colour, which is great. When you saw me do in that corner there, when you saw me do the gold leaf, I used a yellow background, and that works exactly the same principle. But all in all, that's gone on really well. You saw me on the last section a few seconds ago, I lost the mic, so you might have seen me doing something and no explanation. I did rub over that surface, like to burnish it, if you want to call it. Those that know about it, it's not proper burnishing. All I was using was that call it microfiber noodle cloth. That's what it was, and I took off all the surface that wasn't sticking to that mordant, which is the loose leaf, and that's what I've done. But now I'm ready for varnishing. I've got that gold varnish, well, I've got the gold varnish. It's the gloss varnish that goes over gold. It's the crystal clear lacquer. As I said earlier, they do a new version of this that isn't called that, and I've probably already just explained what that new varnish is. You cannot use ordinary water-based varnish on surfaces like this because of the surface tension. It will sis. That's why you need something like this that won't sis, and that's what I'm going to do now. So you'll see me do a bit of cutting in. I'll fast forward it and I'll say thanks for watching. I will show you this room when it's all done on another video, but please watch the videos at the end. For now, just watch me varnishing this and just listen to the music. I've just got a microfiber roller and I'm just applying it to the surface like so. Don't worry what it goes on like on this first one, because no doubt you'll give it a second coat, and if you're really keen you might even give it a third. This microfiber roller is one of those really nice Monarch microfibers you might have seen in videos that I've done before. Now I've got it on any which way, and I'm just going to literally go up and down just to lay it off to get it a bit even. Don't worry if you've got a bit of a thick edge on anything, because what you'll do is just roll it out, and that's what I'm doing. And as I say, don't sand it between coats. This will be dry in 20-25 minutes, and I'd say within an hour to 2 hours you'd probably be recoated.